Rosamond High School ASB would like to thank the board for all their hard work this year. So, just passing on the message. And softball had their semifinal playoff game today.
How'd they do?
They lost 5-1. It's okay though.
But they got there.
They got to the semifinals.
Exactly.
Yep. And commencement is the 29th.
Are you going to be there?
Yes, I will be.
Oh,
Yeah, we oh, yeah, fun.
Let's recognize Tristen Lee, an appreciation for serving as student board representative, 2013-14. Obviously, you know who's not the boss.
We have lots of awards to give out this morning, or this evening. Our first one, Wayne Carr. Calderon.
Congratulations. Stay up here.
Carla Tree.
I think you have to start over there, but you know. Oh. We like to keep you.
Genevieve Collins. Wanda Long. Christine Biscuits. John Johnson. Rhonda Deal. Mercedes Contreras. Nino Torres.
Even dressed up for us.
Bob Bartel. Mark.
Huh?
Mark Jacobs. Martha Bermia. Bertha Valdivia. Lori Horton.
See, there's more hugs going around.
Catherine Jones. Jesse Mosaic. Jackie Eubanks. Bob Romnett.
Right. Thank you.
Dan Wexler. Patty Galindo. Donna Cisner. Rebecca Kincannon. Esther Acosta. Katie Donovan.
Thank you.
Ann Yost. Martha Bernia. Leslie Lacey. Linda Andriana. Marissa Toplin. Driver. And Jerry was asked to transport students for the migrant department on a weekend trip to Arvin. Once there, the bus he was supposed to meet up with had left without our students. Jerry then proceeded to let me know that he was not upset and drove all the way to Bakersfield without hesitation to meet up with the bus so the students wouldn't miss the weekend getaway to the college visit that they were going to be attending. When he went back to pick up our students on Sunday, there was some confusion regarding pickup times. Jerry was again very patient and understanding regarding the mix-up. He waited for hours for our students patiently and made sure that everyone was picked up and home safe and sound. I just appreciated the way he was so patient and understanding on something that could have gone totally wrong. Due to the fact he stepped up and went above and beyond, our students had a wonderful time. So congratulations. He's a teacher at Tropical Middle School. He's always helpful. He prepares students for all the sixth grade subjects and shares them with all the teachers. He tries to keep everyone in the loop with all the changes occurring in the school year. So
Everybody, before the school year gets out, that we are having our Cancer Walk, Run and Ride, the Rosamond Cancer Walk, Run and Ride at the Rosamond High School football field. This is our second event. Last year, we're very happy to announce that we raised over $6,200 for the American Cancer Society. And so it was real good. This event is going to be a little different this year. We're holding everything at the high school football field, and it's going to be a 24-hour event rather than starting at 5 o'clock in the evening like you did last year and going through until 9 o'clock the next morning. This will start at 10 o'clock on Saturday, September 6th, and end at 10 o'clock Sunday, September 7th. And 100% of the net proceeds go to the American Cancer Society. And this is our event. This is Rosamond's event. This is why we have called it the Rosamond Cancer Walk, Run and Ride. Our theme is Rosamond for the cure. And cancer has unfortunately touched everybody sitting in this room. We all know somebody, whether it be a loved one or friend, co-worker, or even ourselves. So We are a lot more to come. We are on Facebook. We're developing a website right now, and we're forming teams. And what we're going to have this year is we will have a 5K run that'll start before in the morning on the 6th. And the whole idea is to get the 5K run and the bicycle rides over with before the start of the relay. But we will have a luminary ceremony. We'll have live bands like we did last year. We'll have food vendors there. So it'll be a good time for everybody to come out and support raising money for cancer so we can beat this thing. And also, tomorrow night is the second annual cancer walk at cancer event at Jet Hawk. Friday night is the second annual cancer event at Jet Hawk Stadium, and it's Cancer Awareness Night. We have tickets for sale over there. They're $8 a piece. $4 for each ticket we sell goes to the Rosamond Cancer Walk, Run, and Ride. So if anybody wants to get any, it'll be for Friday night. And I thank you for all your support and hope to see you all in September.
Tonight, I get to play teacher, and I'm going to give a cross-curricular presentation in history and mathematics as I bring you up to date on negotiations. In my discussion, I will often refer to teachers, but I generally mean all unit members of both RTA and CSEA, as we usually have similar experiences in negotiations. So, 7 years ago, teachers received their last pay increase. 3 years ago, the county took financial control of the district and came to RTA and CSEA, having to immediately slash $1.6 million from the budget due to a financial crisis. There was extreme urgency to make concessions, and the employees responded quickly to meet the needs of the district with a 2-year MOU built on concessions in class size, benefits, and salary in the form of furlough days. 2 years ago, the district came back to the teachers asking to extend the MOU 2 additional years so that the long-range budget would show solvency and would be accepted by the county with a qualified certification. Last year, we finally found some relief. The district reimbursed teachers for 1 furlough day, and all 3 furlough days were reinstated for this year. Class sizes were adjusted slightly, 1 whole student per class, and benefits remain with lower coverage and double out-of-pocket expenses. Over the last 3 years, the district has gone from running out of money to having a projected reserve of over 18% at the end of the year. On March 5th, RTA presented its proposal for negotiations to the Board of Trustees. The proposal took the last steps in restoring class sizes and benefits for the teachers and to increase salaries to gain back the financial losses and stagnation over the last 7 years. 2 months later, on May 7th, RTA met with the district to begin negotiations. The proposal from RTA was discussed, but there was not any response or proposal from the district. On May 14th, we met again to finally receive and discuss a proposal from the district. Now, we appreciate the district making a proposal that begins to address our 7-year drought in salary improvement. But unfortunately, we are far, far apart, and it still leaves benefits at levels contained in the MOU. 3 years ago, when the district needed the employees to make deep sacrifices, we responded and hammered out a deal within days. Now when RTA needs the district to show its support, it takes over 2 months to get a moderate proposal. Needless to say, this has been a disappointment. RTA now has made a counter proposal, and we meet again, but not until June 18th for the district's reply. Now it will be after the start of next school year before we have any chance of bringing a tentative agreement to the members of RTA and to the board. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the people business. Over 80% of our budget is spent on people, and all of our efforts are for the people we serve, the students. If I were to relate our business to manufacturing, the teachers are the machines that produce our product, and support personnel help the machines run properly. Our product is our students, and we work every day to produce the very best product we can. But you have to take care of the machines, or the product begins to be affected. We need to invest in our machinery so that it is kept running at its most efficient and the products we produce are the highest quality. We need to invest in our people. RTA is asking the board to direct the district to restore the concessions we gave 3 years ago, putting us on the path to financial solvency. We ask you to also direct the district to take bigger steps in restoring the money lost over the last 3 years with furlough days and higher out-of-pocket expenses for health care. We ask that you direct the district to fill in the gap caused by 7 years of stagnant salaries and a cost of living that continues to march ever forward. We ask the board to direct the district to take care of its most important resource, its employees. And so
This is for Mr. Roney. Attendance as of 4/10/14 at RHS stands at 749 students with a 97.67% count on attendance. This next part was crossed out, so I had to rewrite it. So I had this as a fax. RHS attended the California Apprenticeship Council 2014 second quarterly meeting in San Diego, California, along with ABC as their cohort for this council meeting. As a result of this meeting, Mr. Jones is reviewing possibilities of pre-apprenticeships with only local charters or facilities in order to see feasibility on receiving ETP funds. Numerous partners were present at the annual RHS Senior Awards Night hosted last night, providing numerous scholarships. Early college campus. Summer classes have been approved and reviews are being staged presently, both by RHS and ABC personnel over proper class sequences for a 4-year rotation of classes. And then he says, please review attached PDF flyer. I don't know. So, notifications of student success at the college classes have been high, and success marks per the college professors. Actual grades are being tallied and finalized from the instructors in the next couple of weeks. Curriculum instruction, all trifold notices and new RH folder of 21st Century Education has been delivered to every eighth grader. All folders with trifolds are ready to be handed to every student for next year classes. The 8th grade visit to RHS went perfectly, and their 8th grade assembly here at RHS was the final display of excitement we had for their arrival. In addition to new 9th graders, we have successfully sent teachers Reeder and Tanksley to link crew training, which will provide student mentoring to all 9th graders. Ag science courses have been revamped due to only one course in their matrix, actually covering Section D of the UC and CSU approval. In addition, an ag chemistry has recently been submitted for the UC Doorways approval process. Grants, all recent grant applications will become aware on May 23rd. Actions of necessity will immediately become a priority dependent upon if and which ones are made available to RHS. WASC this actually applies to me. The Alt Ed School Review. I will be attending with both alternative schools on Wednesday the 21st to discuss WASC. He actually wasn't able to make it. We had a meeting at WASC in change of location and curriculum adjustments since we're going to be moving our location over to by the high school where Hamilton was. And that's for WASC purposes. We need a bigger school, we need bigger buildings, and so.
Rosamond Elementary School has had a very good year. We saw a number of areas in which we grew. Our attendance has improved from where we ended last year, but it still remains an area that we plan to work on and improve for the coming year. At the beginning of the year, we'll be setting a goal of 97% school-wide attendance, which would be a significant growth. It's about approximately a 5% growth from where we averaged this year. So we're going to set the goal high, we're going to aim for it, the kids are ready and they're going to be ready to go for it. We're planning also to reinstate our weekly, monthly, and quarterly incentives. That kind of fell by the wayside this year through other issues that took precedence over that. In addition, our Perfect Attendance Awards are issued now, and our monthly class attendance trophy that is awarded is a huge incentive. The monthly attendance award is for the class that has the highest percentage for the year. This year, there was a number of classes that had or were able to post 100% perfect attendance. So we want to continue to recognize those classes with the trophy. During our testing window, what we did is we also threw in a pizza party for the classes at 100% attendance. So that's going to help us overall with our testing, and it helps us just overall with attendance. So we're excited about that. The kids really enjoyed all the pizza. This year we had a very active PTA. Our membership drive saw an increase of almost 100% from where we ended last year. Our PTA this year was able to sponsor a number of event and fundraisers. We hosted a pumpkin decorating contest in the fall. All of our staff were invited to participate. We saw a number of very creative entries. And in addition to that, we tied it in with our annual book fair. And the kids were, every kid that was able to attend during that time period received a raffle ticket. And then we raffled off every 15 minutes a free book, because Scholastic donates a number of books to us. So that got the kids in there excited. The ones who won the pizza decorating contest received a certificate, and they also received a nice gift from the PTA. I believe it's gift cards like to Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So that was very exciting for them. Our PTA also sold candygrams at Christmas, Valentine's Day, and in the spring, just so the kids had an opportunity to recognize each other, and it was just a fun community building event. They sold them for 50 cents. They got to tell their teacher how much they appreciated them, their parents, or anyone else. And the PTA, on some days, braved the elements, and most recently, these really heavy winds, just to be out there and selling it. And the kids really, really liked that. About coming to school every day, and about education. You know, and the kids that snickered, they said, their big point, he goes, you got to understand, in order to qualify for our team, because we're nationally recognized, all of us have our bachelor's degree. And they talked about, like, you know, my bachelor's degree is in biology, but I found out I had a talent for bike riding, so I do this in addition to. So the kids saw that in addition to having fun and being able to go out there and do stunts and perform on a national level, that these people also valued education, and they talked about how the importance of staying in school, working hard, because that's how you become a better bike rider, because you're smarter, and you work smarter, not harder. So that was a great message. And what we also saw, because all these guys wore their helmets, the kids that normally rode their bikes or scooters without helmets are now showing up with their helmets, which is great, because we're right on Rosamond Boulevard, so it's very important for them to understand safety early in the morning. After several years of planning, Rosamond Elementary was able to reopen our computer lab. We were very excited to reopen the computer lab. It had been empty for a long, long time. We opened up in March. At first, only 3rd through 5th grade were allowed in the computer lab because we were doing some heavy-duty prepping for the piloting of the Smarter Balance assessment, which is going to prepare our kids for the Common Core testing next year. After the testing window closed, we have our kindergarten through 2nd grade kids coming in because we have more classes in to kindergarten through 2nd grade. We had to alter them. So we have K1 going on Mondays and Wednesdays. Who's left? First and second, I forget. No, K1, and then 2nd grade going in only on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Friday we're leaving it open for our special education classes to go in there. Thanks to Dan Wexler and his team, we have a number of educational software on there and keyboarding skills. Something we realized during the Smarter Balance is that there's a lot of essay writing. And what took up a lot of our time is a lot of our kids, because we do not have computers at home, were lacking the keyboarding skills to be able to transfer their thoughts onto the computer. So through the use of computer keyboarding programs, we're going to be better prepared for next year. In addition to that, we're also planning to develop some lessons so that our older kids, through 3rd and above to begin with, will be learning how to use Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And again, with the help of Dan Wexler, who has volunteered to in-service our teachers, we're also going to start an introduction to programming class through an application called Scratch. Scratch is really interesting, and the kids like it because they get to design their own avatar, and through simple center structure, they're able to animate and get their avatar to do different things. So for kindergarten, it'll be very simple, like, you know, see the dog run, which is something they might be working on in class, and then when they hit, you know, run, then that little animated dog is going to run across, and they can make it jump and do backflips and spin around, dance, whatever they want to do. Because if you can create the sentence, the avatar will actually carry it out. So I had approached Dan about that, and I said, you know, I had this at a previous district. He goes, oh my gosh, he goes, I am really good at this. He goes, I'd love to come in and teach, you know, train your teachers. So we're going to be working on that over the summer, getting a schedule together, and we're going to kick that off in August when we get back. Our students had a great year, learning and experiencing new things, not only in the computer lab, but in the classrooms. We were very excited with our integration of technology, especially in kindergarten. One of our teachers, Mrs. Torres, found a way to use Wii controllers and hooked them up to a projector, so she created an interactive whiteboard in her classroom. And it is hilarious to watch these little kindergartners walking around, and then she tells them to do something, and they touch different things on the board, and their answers come up, and they think it's hilarious. So it's just fun to watch them go in there, and it's giving them another way of expressing themselves. Some of these kids that are too shy to speak up go up there and they manipulate the figures and the little cubes that she has designed on there. And the kindergarten also hosted a fall festival, which was in conjunction with the Halloween decorating contest, which Rosamond Elementary is very proud to announce that we took first place, and we appreciate the prize that Mr. Reeder provided for us. It was a lot of fun. It was just fun competing with West Park and just competing overall. It was just a great day to have a goofy time. Kindergarten also had a blast going to the Aquarium of the Pacific, which was a culmination to their month-long science unit. The parents were really appreciative. The kids had done a lot of things in preparation for that. They had learned about their sea creatures, built the sea creatures, chosen their groups by sea creatures, and Mrs. Hupke and Mrs. Baldridge actually designed a submarine. So the kids actually went through the classroom in underwater exploration in their submarine. So they were more than ready to go to the Aquarium of the Pacific. And just to brag a little bit, this year, Rosamond Elementary entered the Bakersfield Realtors Essay and Poetry Contest, and we were very proud. Our second grade class in the second and third grade category took first, second, and third place in the poetry category. So they were recognized up at Bakersfield. They got their medal, they got certificates, and they had a small luncheon reception. To continue with our most recent brag, our 4th and 5th grade classes entered the Rosamond Water District's poster contest this year, and we're very excited and proud of our kids. In this year's calendar, Rosamond Elementary students will be featured 9 out of the 12 months, including the first place. So if you have an opportunity to drive down the 14 heading into Lancaster, on the right side, right before Avenue I, there's a huge billboard displaying Ann Bowen's first prize winning poster, and so it has her name on there, and it says Rosamond Water District, and then Mrs. Shank. So we're very proud of it. Matter of fact, we're taking a picture, having it framed, giving it to Mrs. Shank, because I think she deserves that. She worked very hard with those kids. We had a great year getting to know each other this year, but as a staff, now we're ready to get to work. Rosamond Elementary is planning to start a student government, a student newspaper, and we're very excited to also start with both the Avid and Project Lead the Way next year. And as a school and a staff, we'd like to thank the board for all your support. It makes our job a lot easier. So thank you.
Student enrollment at West Park is currently 724. This next coming year, I think we're going to have even more than that. We are basically going to have a class in every single classroom. And maybe we're going to have a need for some additional classes, so we've been talking to Mr. Weinstein about that. I'm going to give you a little bit of what's going to be happening in the next few weeks, and then I'll talk a little bit about what we did this year and what we're going to be doing a little bit next year. Unfortunately, I really didn't get that memo, so here we go. For fourth quarter awards and end of the year awards assemblies, we've been holding those this week. Our kindergarten and first grade were on Tuesday, and on Wednesday was our second and third grade, which was today. Tomorrow we will be having our fourth quarter awards and end of the year awards for our fourth graders at 8 a.m. Our fifth grade awards will be on our promotion night, and so they will receive all of their awards that evening. Ms. Eubanks and Mrs. Canterbury's class are having a play for parents on Thursday, May 22nd, tomorrow at 6 p.m. in our school cafeteria. They've already done their performances for our students yesterday and today, and our students really enjoyed their performance. They always do a fabulous job every single year when they do their performance. Our fifth grade promotion trip is to the Brunswick Sands Bowling is on Friday, May 23rd. Our end of the year Good Behavior Carnival will be this next Wednesday on May 28th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. All of the students that were able to make it through the year with good behavior, meaning no suspensions. Maybe if they only had one referral that wasn't so bad, they can maybe go if they've improved. But it's all a good reward for all those students that have worked really, really hard throughout the year to ensure that they're following our values and our rules and are doing a great job of being a good student. Our year-long attendance reward celebration will be on Thursday, May 29th. They get to, and I didn't finish that sentence, whoops. Students are able to win prizes, lots of different prizes. In the past, they've won little video things to watch in the car, PS games, all kinds of fun stuff. Basically, it's kind of a raffle, but every student wins something, so they all get a little extra reward for having been at school all year long. They also get a little treat. Usually it's like some chips and some soda or something like that to also help celebrate what their success with their attendance for the year. It's amazing. We are also at West Park. We expect them not only to be at school every day, but also to be on time. So it's really difficult for them to achieve that, and so they do need a little extra something for that. Our 5th grade promotion will be at Tropico on Tuesday, May 27th at 7 p.m. following the Rosamond Elementary. We'll be having our last hurrah celebration for our 2 retiring teachers on Thursday, May 29th at 12 o'clock in our staff lounge. And our kindergarten students will be doing a program for their parents on Friday, May 30th at 8 a.m. And I wrote a few little things on the back that you guys don't have because as they were doing that, I realized, oh no, I was supposed to do something. So here's a little cap of some of the stuff that we've done this year. All of you know that we now have our buddy bench. Our students have all been trained, and we've actually seen a few students out there using the buddy bench, and it's been a real help for a couple of our students. So we're really, really excited about that. I have to say that our PTO is absolutely fabulous. I would like to give a huge round of applause for Tracy Lefko, who's sitting right over there. When we had a difficult time getting parents to volunteer to be our PTO president, she stepped up and she's done an amazing job the last 2 years, and now she's finally recruited some parents that have no longer as scared as they used to be because they've been able to watch her and see how she does things. So we're looking forward to working with our new PTO board, and I think she's going to come up in a little bit and introduce them to you. They have done an absolute fabulous job. The events, one of my goals, of course, was to increase parent involvement in our school, as well as through the Buddy Bench and our Safe School Ambassadors, is to make a very positive environment for our students to be in. This year we've had 2 book fairs, and both of our book fairs have been highly successful, which is very exciting because our students, you know, they're purchasing books, they're going to be reading more and more. This last book fair, in the fall, we sold over $6,000 worth of books, which in Scholastic bucks gets us about $3,000, and if we cash that in for real cash, it's about $1,300 that we earned from that book fair. But it also put a lot of really good books in students' hands, which is even more exciting. This year, each month we created a value, and you've heard me talk about those values at our different board meetings when I've talked about our Student of the Month awards and the value that they've been working on. For example, in August they work on keeping our hands, feet, and objects to themselves. Each month, as I said, we made sure that these values are very specific so the kids completely understand what they are. There are 10 of them, all the way through this last month, where they were asked to show their appreciation to the staff members at school that were very helpful for them all year long. So that's one of the ways that we've been supporting our students and trying to encourage them to show their good behavior. A couple mornings when some class wins a perfect attendance award for having 10 days of perfect attendance, and it goes up in 10 increments, and their class gets prizes for every 10 days of perfect attendance. I will often announce when I announce the classes that in the mornings that they won, that it's very important for them to be there every single day, because the more they're there, the more they'll learn. And if you ask the kids, they can say that statement pretty much straight out because they've heard me say it a lot. Attendance is extremely important, so we put in a couple of new things this year, and we'll hopefully be working on those again next year. One is lunch with the principal. They earn their name in a raffle every week that they have perfect attendance. On those, they don't have to have perfect, they can be tardy, but they do have to be there every single day for a week of a month. At the end of the month, all the names for each week go into a pile, and 2 kids from every week get chosen to eat lunch with me at the end of the month. So that's been something that the kids really look forward to and hope that they get chosen. Another reward that we've started this year is at the end of every month, we pull a list from every single class of the students that have had perfect attendance with no tardies, and they get a little prize. One of the little prizes, I don't know, maybe if you guys remember those little koalas that you stick on the tops of the pencils. We've had the, oh my gosh, what do you call those things? Pinwheels. Pencils, that change colors, all kinds of fun stuff. And the kids really look forward to receiving those awards when they get those. And they are the Super Wildcat Awards. Got a really cool ribbon with a gold sticker that we put on them, as well as earning their regular prizes that they would normally get. So these are in addition. They also bought dog tags that we're going to go out tomorrow for our 4th grade students, for different ones for principals on a roll and superintendents on a roll. And the kids have been very receptive, and the parents have really liked those.
Hello, everybody. I have summarized below the goals I set as a principal at Tropical Middle School for the past 2 years. Tropical Middle School has undergone a transformation that has posed challenges to all stakeholders. The challenges have not been without reward for students and all community members. As stated below, there has been measurable improvements in test scores and suspension rates. Insofar as these indicators can demonstrate, Tropical Middle School is a safer campus and more academically sound 2 years into my tenure. I have been able to introduce old and new programs to the campus that have greatly assisted in having students and community input to Tropical Middle School. The Tropical Middle School athletic program is once again active at our school. Our new gym is being used by our TMS sports teams. I didn't have to usually take my glasses and so. We have active credit retrieval and intervention programs during and after school, giving students opportunity to succeed academically. The integration of the one-on-one computer devices for our students and staff has been a great tool for inclusion for our community and all stakeholders. Our technology program is a model for Kern County, and we should all be proud of it. The past 3 years have not been without challenges, but they have been managed so that in the end, our students and community have benefited from the positive outcomes. It has been a pleasure and an honor to serve as your principal at Tropical Middle School. Some things of note. When I started at Tropical Middle School, our suspension rate was at 36%. Last year was at 11%, and this year it's 6%. We've had our API points for our CST grow in 1 year 40 points, and I'm sure we would have been closer to 800 had we continued with our CSTs. And also our attendance rate, it has hovered at 97%, which is, I think, a huge testament to our parents and our students, as well as our staff. Thank you.
We don't have the sports events to report the scores. We don't have the clubs to share the awards. We don't have the dances to share the names of the dance royalty, etc., etc. We did have special events this year, which I shared with you throughout the year. We had our first Spirit Days and the related events. Before spring break, we had a treasure egg hunt and pizza party. Our awards assemblies for attendance and grade point averages were attended by all students, and we are always pleased to have parents attend also. Somewhere in the year, we probably had more pizza parties because that's what we do. We implemented an incentive program for the last month of school. Students have earned gift cards, and 2 Kindles will be awarded at the end of the year. Next week, we will have our second cap and gown ceremony, and then following the graduation will be the first ever alternative education graduation dance. They could not wait 1 more year. And then I sat there staring at the computer screen. But then my mind began to think of all that we have accomplished with and for the students of alternative education. I have always said that our flow of students is constant, and as I began to look at these numbers, I realized how true that is. So I am not a statistical kind of person, and I certainly don't believe that statistics actually prove anything, but here goes. At Abraham Lincoln, 236 students have enrolled throughout the year. 121 students are currently enrolled. We had 3 full-time independent study teachers this year, and they had a full load of students most of the year. These 3 teachers were fun to watch, as they had picnic lunches together, and they worked together so well. For the first time, independent study teachers had prep time, and they are very grateful. For every independent study student, there are assignments such as the ones before you here. Miss Nickham had her 5th grade students do a state project and report. Then the teachers have to keep a folder, and in that folder it must include all of their paperwork and more paperwork and more paperwork. Every student requires a folder that houses all the assignment sheets and the work samples, 5 to 7 subjects a week for each student, grading, recording of grades, and tracking of student progress, what all teachers do. We had students enrolled at Abraham Lincoln during the period of pending expulsions, medical excuses from a traditional setting, and home hospital. Parent choice of placement is always the largest amount of students. Students who had left our district previously returned to our alternative education settings this year. As soon as an appointment time opened up, the teacher was already getting another student assigned. With the 3 full-time positions and the part-time teachers, I have never had to wait more than a few days to fill a request, and that was a huge relief this year. Rare Earth enrolled 113 students, and 50 are presently active enrollments. 3 teachers at Rare Earth worked for the first time with a complete computer-based program, 70 computers, and we maxed out at 70 students, I should have put there, at one time in the year. The labs were available 3 days a week, and students took advantage of the opportunities to earn more credits. Rare Earth teachers also had the necessary prep time for the mounds of paperwork involved in an alternative setting where credits are being issued constantly. Speaking of credits, hundreds of credits earned by students. I was not going to go through every transcript and add them up, sorry. Rare Earth teachers also had the necessary prep time for the amounts of paperwork involved, and they continue to do that on a regular basis. I skipped, sorry. Each of the credit slips are filled out by the teachers, put onto transcripts by office staff, and it never ends. But the students are earning the credits. Hundreds of more credits are turned in on the independent study contracts at the end of each semester. Again, updated transcripts and grade level changes as students accomplish their goals. 35 English Cassies passed, 32 Math Cassies passed. And the most, it's going to be hard. And the most important number for me, 47 students will walk this year at our ceremony on May 28th. I told myself I wouldn't do this. 39 completed diplomas and 8 certificates of completion. The students with the certificates of completion have said they will keep taking the CASI until they have the diploma. It's happened before, and I believe it will happen 8 more times. And now our year closes. Lots of changes ahead for alternative education, but hey, there are always changes at alternative education. You as a board, the previous superintendent, and Mr. Weinstein as our superintendent now, did more for alternative education in the past 4 years than I've ever saw previously. And I have been a part of alternative education for almost 20 years. I personally thank you for that support. As I said at the orientation meeting at the beginning of the year, it was nice to be the princess at the ball for a change. This is my final report. You took a chance with me as an administrator the last 2 years and 1 quarter. I never thought I would retire from anywhere except the classroom, but I enjoyed the experience. Well, most of it. A student presented a report to you 2 years ago, and I have forever had in my mind something she said. I would like to share her words with you both as I end this report, and I say thank you for 28 great years at Southern Kern Unified School District, especially at alternative education. Her words, not mine, but please remember them. We are not bad students. We are just students who made bad choices. So for the last time, all is well at Alt Ed, and it will continue to be so.
All right, you've heard a lot about our PTO, and I just wanted to introduce you to our board members. Yesterday we had our elections for the next 2 years. As you've heard, we have a attendance over 700 kids. We sent out invitations with every kid home, asking them to come to our meeting. That we explained that it would be our election meeting, and what you see before you is the group that showed up out of our 700. This is also the group that we had last year, and they are very dedicated. They have kids of their own. They are constantly busy, and yet they find the time to run our PTO. And I'm very honored and pleased to have worked with them. And I'm going to go ahead. They were officers last year, but they are also officers this year. So I would like to introduce to you Terry Guerrera. She is our new incoming president. Annette Coombs, she is our member at large. Charlotte Howell, she is our vice president. And Marissa Toplis, who is our secretary. We are missing Dawn Thompson, who was our treasurer, and I'm hoping she will be it again. We also have Diana Vasquez, who is our communication officer, and Lisa Soul, who is a Rosamond elementary teacher, who is also a member of our PTO. Mrs. Lacey has told you about some of the things we've done. I'd just like to recap just a little real quick. Some of our things that we have done Bite Around the World, which is in December, where people bring in different foods from different nationalities, and it's like Dime a Dip if you remember when you were kids. You buy bites, yes. We have movie nights where we have pizza and movies. We have our Sweetheart Dance, which is, Miss Lacey told us we had over 350 people attending. It is always a hit. It's fantastic. We had a Common Core information night. We also had a carnival just a couple weeks ago in that wind, where we had blow-ups galore and hot dogs and hamburgers. We have purchased a mascot outfit. It's Wiley the Wildcat, Wiley Whiskers the Wildcat, who is made by Daisy's, which I don't even know if you guys knew, but she burned down. We have bought the awards that Miss Lacey was telling you about, the the dog tags, and we hope to continue that next year. We are also going to be including a PTO Pride Award, which we are offering as like a high citizenship award. The teachers will nominate their citizenship, the high citizen of the year, or each quarter. And we also paid for the 5th grade promotion field trip to the bowling alley. And that's it. And we are standing with $5,000 in our account right now. So I am very pleased to have been part of this, and I know they're going to continue doing what they are doing. Awesome. They are awesome. I just wanted to be aware
of it. I wrote down. It's kind of sad that Mr. Starr, it hits upon that, funding per student, but hopefully we'll somehow bring that up, make it better. I would like to thank Alice for all your years of dedication, and my sons went through, and so thank you. And Yanni, if Roy's going to be out there painting, I want to be out there watching, because, maybe help it. Oh yeah, I want to see that, yeah. Good man, good lady, thank you for all you do. And thank you for the, all your PTO, it's amazing, 5K, wow. That's just amazing, thank you, Ms. Letko, and everyone for that. I look forward to next week, promotions, graduations. I get to hand my daughter her diploma and her luggage. Oops. I never leave, that's okay, it's all good. Thank you, Mr. Woods, for the cancer walk road run, that's amazing. And that's, if we can beat that, wow, so thank you. And just FYI, I don't know what annual, it's 2nd or 3rd annual Joseph Pratty next week on the 31st, so that'll be neat. Yeah, 5K. Thank you, Mr. Quellman, for you know, the RTA and all you guys do, and thank you for allowing me to laugh with you, not at you. Appreciate that. And wow, you know, another year, it's come and gone, you know, well. And thank you to everyone that's retiring. There's a lot of retirements, a lot of movements, there's a lot of things going on, so, you know, thank you. And it's amazing, you know. I'd also like to thank our after-school program, since my wife works for it. And I mean, it's you know, it's heralded, and it's something we started a few years back, and it's going strong, so thank you, Ms. Linda. And my award-winning buddy over there. You know, here we go. You know, on to bigger and better things. We've heard from all the schools. It's just amazing, you know, what we're doing and how we're acting. And in such a small amount of time, we were able to do this, you know. And so that's mind-blowing. That really is. For me, personal note, this weekend I'm going down to the NAGM, which is National Area General Meeting for Soccer, which will impact and has impacted this community. I see a lot of soccer parents. I see a lot of coaches. Ms. Combs. And
I don't coach.
I know, I miss your husband. So tell Mr. Roy, hello, it's on the record that he needs to come back. Ms. Nelson, Donna Nelson, who's one of our Rosamond own, you probably some of you who live around, I want to say old timers, our Madam President, Ms. Nelson. She's up for re-election at National Board, so we definitely want one of our own out there on our National Board. So, but with that being said, I yield my time to Mr. Reader. Thank you.
A good thing. It shows that we have people that care. And it's that exciting time of the year, graduations and promotions, and seeing all our students in the paper. And we had an awesome dinner last night for our high school students with 4.0s. That was excellent. So great time. I just want to thank all the staff, teachers, parents, volunteers, and students for such a great year this year. Look forward to next year.
Place this year. And it's not always noticed by a lot of people out there. We have Congressman McCarthy that does his awards every year. This is the 23rd year. And he continues to say that he can never win his own award, which is kind of funny because when he's there at the award ceremony, he's always very nice and very personable. In fact, this year I think was the first time he never wore a tie, and I was really surprised. But we made it on the Rosamond News. So here's Mr. McCarthy with Cassidy, and this year they started something brand new. The students that won the award, they got to nominate a teacher that either mentored them, helped them in some way, that they were an inspiration to them. And so Caleb Schrader, I always want to say Schroeder, so I'm not sure, was the first one for Rosamond High School. And Mr. McCarthy said that that was one of the favorite things that he liked was when the students nominated it could be a teacher, could be a counselor, so you know, anybody that influenced their life during their high school career. He was real impressed with what the kids said about the teachers. And most of the time, teachers and staff never know who and how and what they have done in students' lives. You just don't know that. And it's very encouraging that now we're getting that out there. The 4.0 dinner for our valedictorians, it was very good. It was fun. We had a good time. And we had our 5 girls from Rosamond High School there. It was like, okay, this is cool. But it was very good. We had a couple of good speakers from NASA. There was Stephen Jacobson and there was Carla Shea. And I understand Carla Shea was a teacher here for a couple of years at the high school, I think. Anyway, she liked us, so that was good. Then in Tuesday's paper, there was scholarships were awarded for 77 students, and this was out of Lancaster, and we had 4 students right down here. So we're doing well, and they're recognizing obviously not only Rosamond students but all the students, and that's very, very good. It's a pat on the back for them, and I think it helps them with that next step. Now I'm going to cry. Joey Pratty was one of our kids at Alted. And he was a stinker, but he was a good kid. And he went back to the high school and graduated, and then he was working at Costco, and we'd see him in there every now and then. And then he went in the military and gave his life for us. And I just can't hardly ever talk about him without crying. And Alice was there. She has been awesome. And trust me, she will tell you like it is. Years. So, you know, Prindle for the last, what, 5, 6?
Almost 6.
Yeah. But it's great, and I'm glad she's going out on a high note, and maybe not in the classroom, but you have affected a lot of lives. You've touched a lot of kids. And I don't mean when you smacked them up, no, I'm kidding. She never did that, trust me, she didn't do that. But she has. She's touched a lot of lives, and she will probably never know how many. And thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for all the staff. You're just totally awesome. Totally awesome. Okay.
Mrs. Kirk, scholarships to graduating seniors from Rosamond High School. And I apologize I didn't bring this during my presentation. But this year we awarded $3,000 total to 4 different students. Mariah Trujillo, a $500 scholarship. Ana Luz Jimenez, another $500 scholarship. Samantha Ness, a $1,000 scholarship. And Zachary Starkey, a $1,000 scholarship. So we're happy to do that.